everybody should know how to use Microsoft Word. It's one of those things that you could come across in your daily life somehow and just need to know the basics of how to use it. And it's surprising how many people don't know how to use it, especially since it's so commonly needed in the world. I've been alive for only 20 years, and I've had to use Microsoft Word for 13 of those 20 years, starting from when I was 7 in the first grade, having to write essays. So by the end of this presentation, you will be able to create, edit, and export any document into Microsoft Word, edit it, be able to use it, and you may even pick up a few little tricks on the way. So, starting from the basics, and I will be showing this on an iPad because most of the older and younger generation now use iPads rather than laptops. And so when you have the app on your phone, the Microsoft Word app, which Microsoft Word obviously requires a subscription, but once you get there, you can see all your documents that you already might have, and you have options to create a new document that's just blank, has nothing on it to start with, or you can click on your own files, which will open up the files on your own iPad to import from an email or another program. And so we'll just start with a new document. And here you will see it's already ready for you to type, but it has its own default settings, so you are able to adjust the font, and Microsoft has 8 million different preset fonts. And then you can set up the size of your font. You can make it default is 12, which is, perfect for any document you might need. But sometimes you want to type something really huge, and you can set it to any size you want. That's pretty huge. And then this would be the more default size setting. You can play with bolding your letters. Can't really see, I should make it probably bigger. You can bold your letters, italicize them, they're a little slanted, underline, anything you want. You can also change, you can select your words and you can highlight them with any color you want. It has a few default colors, but you can make it whatever you want. Highlight something, change the font color to whatever color you want. You can do it like, oh, it won't let me select it. See, now the font is brown. It's probably hard to tell, but you can make it any color you want. So that's pretty much your basic setup. You can mess with that. And then of course you've got line spacing, bullet points, anything you need to add if you're making a list or itemize anything like that. Now to get to the more complicated stuff, sometimes you might need to include an image, or you're putting an image on a Word document just to print it out. So you can use this little insert tab at the top, which this all translates to Word on the PC as well. You go to your little insert and you can choose to insert a photo from your camera roll. You can take a photo on your iPad, and some versions of Word have it to where you can search up images within Word and it'll pull from Microsoft's own database of a bunch of images that you can insert. It's like stock images and things like that. It's a little hard to get to that on the iPad, but on the PC that's an easier, more accessible option. Now you can, one of the things you can do on Word on the iPad is you can draw. I'm sure if you have like a tablet set up to your computer, you can draw on that as well, but it's more accessible on the iPad. You can pick whatever tool you want, draw around on the screen, make a smiley face, whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. You can undo, redo, erase, everything. So once you have your document typed out however you want, and this is all nonsense, but one of the things you will need to be able to know how to do at the end of your document is Microsoft has their own spell check within the program, so that if you made any typos or errors or just sounds completely stupid, it will go through and identify those errors and fix them for you, or it'll have you review and decide whether or not to fix something or not. So you would go to review and you click on this ABC with a check, because that is spell check. Go for spelling. And since mine's just complete gibberish, it doesn't pick up on it because it's just literally button mash. But if I typed a word, say like brown, Did I spell it wrong? Gosh, I'm really doing a terrible job at this, but say I spell brown really wrong, and then I go to spell check, and it's gonna have these little red squiggly lines underneath it. That lets you know that there's something wrong with the spelling of the word. There'll be a blue squiggly line under something if it's just a grammatical error. You can click on that with the spell check, and it'll pop up a few options of what word you might have been attempting to spell, and you can fix it from there. So this is something great for all people to use. It's a very basic tool, but it's something everybody should know how to use and will probably come across within their day-to-day life. You can use it for many things besides drafting documents. You can just use it to size photos for, you know, printing off to put on your wall, something like that. You can also, one of the things if you get done with the document, something that is important to know is if you are going to send it to somebody, they might be using a different program or have a certain set of requirements for how you send them the document. So you need to know how to export, just like you need to know how to import. So what you would do is you would hit this little send button at the top, and this is just to share it, like if you're just going to straight up email it from the thing. You would click on the $3 lines next to that, and there's a little export option, and this has two options right here. A PDF file, which is usually pretty translatable to any program, and a .otd file, which is like an open document file. Most of the time you're either going to want to export it as a Word document, just how it comes default, or a PDF. So now that we've gotten through all that, you can clearly see that Word is not a complicated tool it's not complicated, but it's good for everybody to know how to use, and it's easy. You can use it on your phone, your iPad, your computer, anywhere, and you can access it with your account from any location. It doesn't matter as long as you can sign in. And so being able to use Word is a great tool, and it comes around pretty often, and being able to practice these things on your own and make your own documents is something that everybody should know how to do, and hopefully this has helped you to become a Word pro.